Good evening, everyone. It is AB.Marley here, your brother from another mother that truly ain't got no other.
And it's your girl Nevaeh here, your sister from another mister, because you know
Papa was a rolling stone. Hey.
It is Tuesday.
Happy Talk Tuesdays, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful freaking day.
Let's taco about it. I've been waiting to use that
one. You usually get a tortilla so you can wrap that up because that was so corny.
I prefer burritos.
You have beans and rice too?
They're gassy.
I know, that's why you trying to bloat yourself right now.
That's why you full of air now.
That's why they call me an
airhead. Alright, y'all. So
this is a touchy subject, that's why she's playing with it right now. I wanted to talk about voting and talking about Congress and the justice system and those of those sorts for this matter. What I want to bring across is quite a few things. It is, let me see here. It is September 22nd when we're recording this video. The point I'm trying to get across right now is you have the time to do early voting. Make sure you get to those polls. Make sure you take this opportunity to pick who you wish to be your president of the next 4 years. Personally, I am going to vote myself because I want to see change. I want to see differences. But it's not just about the people in office that we only see on TV. It's about the ones in our own communities as well. And I really wish to talk about making sure that we take responsibilities of our own actions, of who we let represent us for our state. A couple other things too.
Me personally, surprise, I am not voting. I feel that neither candidates are worth of voting for. And I just feel like, especially with me being African American, I feel like neither one of them are for my community of people. I should not be told to go vote and that if I don't vote for a certain candidate that I am not black.
You know, it was just a reference.
I don't care how much of a reference it is. You cannot tell me something that I am not just because I don't fit the standard or I don't do as other people do. That does not make me less any of what I am.
Well, we both know that there's always, just because I'm not a stereotype does not mean that it makes my skin complexion disappear. But to feed off of what you're saying is, my thing about this is, it starts off with us. It starts off with our communities. It starts off with putting ourselves through school. You know, it's funny how people like to say that we don't have no good candidates for, this year, or we don't have any good opportunists that could be running for these government jobs. But there's too many of us to not know why we're not in these offices ourselves and making those changes, or going in your own communities to say, hey, look, we want to change, we want a difference. We're tired of the crimes happening. We know why the crimes are happening. We need to bring money into these communities so that we can prosper off of them, and making sure that we have a well-tuned and balanced life.
I will say this. Don't get me wrong. I am not against voting. If you want to go vote, I would say go vote. It is important. Me, personally, I just feel like this go-around right here is not something that is for me. I feel like it's a lose-lose either way on my end. I can't speak for anybody else.
I can agree with you on the lose-lose situation.
But what I will say is this, especially with these past 8 years that we've had, 8 years ago we had Obama that was a president, and now we have Trump who is a president now. And one of the things that really kind of got me shook was when Obama was running for president, so many people did not want Obama to be president because he was black. And it was so many people who were racist that was like, oh no, I don't want this N word being my president. That's not my president. This, and that. Now, on the other hand, with our current president, it's not to say that we
occupational hazard in the Oval Office. But go ahead.
It's not to say that we did not want that. Not we, but certain people didn't want him to be president because of his ethnicity. That was not it. It was a simple fact of the type of people that he brought out with him when he was running for president. Me being a black person, if I were to go to a Trump rally, I would not be welcome there. I would probably end up getting hurt or probably almost killed. Just going to a rally to a person that's supposed to be the president of the U.S. And we have fought so hard and so long for us to have racial equality, and for us to try to go vote for someone to be a president makes us feel unwelcome. That is not something that I would ever think of living in this day and age, that I would have to feel just trying to go and vote. And even with that even being said, with the whole Biden and Kamala situation, they're trying to use Kamala as a marketing scheme to get black people to vote for Biden. You got to remember, black people are already familiar with Biden because of the whole Obama situation. Biden was Obama's VP. Mm-hmm. And now when Kamala came into the Senate, she was Indian. She was the first Indian Senate, you know what I'm saying? But now, because she's Biden's VP, now she's black. The first black VP. How many firsts you gonna be? What's next? You gonna be the first Mexican too? You gonna be the next what? The first something else? You can't sit here and switch sides because you're trying to appeal to people. Be who you are. Be real. That's why I feel like neither is worth voting for.
But that's part of the way that they can get people to pay attention, because nothing's better than the lie. The lie is better than the truth at the end of the day, because it builds more drama. It creates more situations. People are going to talk about it more because she did something like that. And that's what gets the conversations going in the first place. I agree with you on some aspects where I don't feel like Biden is all the way there. I don't feel like Kamala Harris is always going to be at the forefront to be able to handle everything. But the options that we have right now, the person that I wanted is not in the race anymore.
Oh no, I'll tell y'all who I wanted. I wanted Bernie. And I'll say that again. I wanted Bernie because Bernie was actually going to bring change about this country. And for those of y'all who are going to go and vote, you actually can put his name down on the ballot. You can do that. You can put Bernie's name down on the ballot, or whoever else's name you think you could vote for to be president. So you don't necessarily actually have to vote for the candidates that are on the ballot.
So to feed off of what you were saying earlier, when it comes to the situation that we're in, I cannot believe it, and I'm saying this from, a generation where we were reading these in our history books. They didn't really dive into how far or how bad crazy things got unless you watch the movies, unless you actually get the really good books of the history lesson. Mm-hmm. But we are reliving the times that my grandfather that was living. Mm-hmm. Because when back in the day when he was delivering papers, he was being chased by the Ku Klux Klan when my mom was young. And it's wow, he was in his early to mid 30s.
If I'm not mistaken, weren't there Klan members at a certain person's rally who is kind of still the president of the U.S.?
Yeah, well, the Ku Klux Klan still exists.
No, I know the Klan still exists, but why would Klan members be at a presidential rally?
To support who they believe is the right candidate for them at the end of the day. And that's the problem. You're going to have people like those who think in that way that are going out to vote and then put him back in office, and then you're going to go into another 4 years of the same situation.
The thing is,
even a worse situation.
The thing is this, even with the voting and things of that nature, I can tell you that this current 4 years versus 4 years ago has been a total different 4 years, especially for me being a black person. I have experienced so much racism in my life within the last 4 years. Experienced so much racism within the last 4 years after Trump came into office, because so many people who are not black just feel so comfortable saying whatever they want to black people and thinking that it's okay because of Trump's presidency. And I'm not saying this to steer people away. I'm not saying this because I'm trying to say all white people are racist. That's not what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And if you are a person who is watching this video and you feel that I'm saying that, then maybe the shoe fits for you. But I did not say that all white people are racist. What I'm saying is that there are some people who have gotten comfortable with the fact that Trump is now the president, that they can just do, speak, and feel and say what they want to people who are black, because they always felt that they were lower than them. And even with today's times right now, especially with all the shootings and Black Lives Matter and all those things all come into play as well with that stuff.
Listen, in America, the slogan is, you can say and do whatever you want as long as you're willing to take the consequences of your actions. Unfortunately, that's not what's going on with some of these people. They're getting away with more than what they should be. But at the end of the day, you guys have to remember something and understand that the people that they show on these platforms, if that's just who they are, that's just who they are. At least you now know, so that you know how far you can take the conversation. You know, what I've learned in these last 4 years is people that are in my circle, like, should they remain in my circle or not? Can we have a divided conversation about things that we both don't agree with? And can we still be cool afterwards? Now, my favorite part is when people said that who did they vote for 4 years ago and how they feel about it now, and how they're switching to somebody else because they realized they made the mistake. And when we had that conversation, I said, so this is what it took for you to learn the lesson of what we were trying to speak of earlier? Or you just kept ignoring it? And they were like, for them it was just like, I just wanted to see something different than a regular politician, and my idea of what it could be did not turn out the way I wanted it to be. So that's the lesson that they took from it, and now it's making changes.
Look, all I gotta say is this. Trump, I mean no disrespect to you. I mean no disrespect to you. I mean no disrespect to your family. And anybody who is a Trump supporter, I don't mean no disrespect to y'all either. But the truth of the matter is, just because somebody is famous, just because somebody has a well-known face, that does not mean that they deserve the position that you want them to be in.
Exactly.
Just because people know them, you need to do your research on somebody before you just up and put them in a position to where they are control over a country.
And the same goes for yourself. See that if you can fit what you're going for in the first place. It's like, for an example, applying for a job position, and it's like, these are the qualifications that you need to have this job position. Well, what were the previous jobs that you worked at that proves that you can have this job? If you have the qualities for it, okay, then put in the application. We'll get back to you later. We can see who are the other people that have the candidates, and that's the whole purpose of this. But the problem is, people don't do their research. They just go off of what somebody says.
It's the fact, like I said, it's the fact that he's a well-known person, and everyone in America, everybody knows who Trump is in America. That's not, people looked up to Trump. People want to be Trump. That's neither here nor there. But the one thing that Trump did not do that everyone else did was he did not go to school for law. He doesn't know law stuff. He doesn't have a military background. He doesn't know the ins and outs of things. Mm-hmm. And being a president is more than just signing papers. Being a president is more than just being the face of America. Being the president means that you are representing not just your country, but you're representing your family. You are showing the world who America is.
Yep.
Every 4 years, we have a new person that is an ambassador for the U.S. Whether it be the same person that serves another 4 terms, or whether it be a new entire person.
Yeah, that's correct.
And you should not vote for someone just because you are familiar with them. And to be honest with you, voting does not start with the president. Voting starts with your cities, your local cities. Voting starts with your state.
Yes. You, like we were saying in the video prior to this, when we were having this conversation, it's always about working in the towns, getting the community together, having those conversations on what's important. You have to talk to your aldermen, you have to talk to your mayors, you have to find out who your senator is. And then you also have to figure out like who's in the other branches of this entire judicial system. If you don't like who's in these offices, you guys have to start with your own towns and work your way up.
Exactly, because the people who will be running for president, or the people who are going to be in the House, or things of that nature, these are the people that are coming from your states that might have started off as your mayor, that might have started off as your governor, that might have started off as your alderman, that worked their way up the judicial and legislative ladder.
Yes.
So you want change, you got to start with home first before you go to the big dogs.
Yep. Of course.
And that's it. But see, a lot of people don't think that, because they always think, well, we just got to focus on the White House. But before you get to the White House, you got your state government.
Yep.
You got your city government.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta start small before you get big. Obama didn't just become president. Obama was a senator. Then he got voted into the House. Okay. Then he became the president. It was a process. It didn't happen overnight.
No, it did not, and it took some time, like you said. But that's the whole point. It takes time. But you know what? The other thing that we gotta make sure that we do, if we really want some good candidates to be in office, you guys gotta put the work in yourself and become that candidate. If you can't find the inspirational president that you wanted for yourself, then be that for somebody else, because truly we need to get this country back on track. People are starving, people are dying, people are getting sick. People are harming each other just because they're frustrated at what's going on around them. And we spend so much time like blaming and pointing fingers to each other that we forget what the important thing was about in the first place. Loving yourself, keeping yourself together, making sure that you are well taken care of and the family that you uphold is too. And just caring for one another. At the end of the day, you guys need to make sure that whether or not you choose to vote, this is just my statement, and this is coming from me personally. If you choose not to vote, that is your choice. I'm not gonna hold you to anything besides saying, do not be upset when we continue on with what we have right now and it got worse. Because you had an opportunity to fix it. Besides, working in your communities and being in your own towns and working your way up from what we explained earlier. And if you yourself choose to vote, then get on it. Make sure you do your early voting. Make sure if you're not doing it by as early as October, make sure you're doing it as no later than November. Making sure that you can help everybody else out get to these polls, because we don't have time for no games no more. This is about your life. This is about your grandchildren's life. This is about the next generation. What are they going to do that we weren't able to do for ourselves? I'm tired of history repeating itself personally.
I'm tired of history repeating itself too, but ultimately, change will come in due time. And change might not be right now. Something is better than nothing. Like I said, I feel like, the thing is, we are always taught when it comes to voting that whoever you vote for has to be a secret. Because whoever you vote for is like either going to push people towards you or push people away from you. But this country is built off of controversy. This country is built off kind of independence. I can't say fully independent. Ultimately, we were taught like voting is a secret. You never tell no one who you vote for. As if you tell someone who you're voting for, as if like you're just gonna like drop dead if they like find out. They want to keep your voting so secret, as if you're blowing out a birthday candle. You know, like if like you know how when it's your birthday and you blow out a candle, and people say never say your wish out loud. They wanted to keep it like that kind of secret.
Oh well, I mean it's ridiculous. How are you gonna get to your wish if you never speak it to existence? So that's stupid to me. But I digress. We're not getting too deep into this. The point is, you guys, what we were taught, what our morals are, how we handle things, and where we want to go is all up to us to make those changes and do better for ourselves. You guys need to make sure that you take well good care of yourselves. Make sure that you keep your head up, you keep moving forward. This conversation was just about having different ideas, talk about what we really want for ourselves and for those that we care about. And even for the ones that we don't care about. You never know what somebody's going through. Take 5 seconds out of your day to make somebody smile and keep your head up and move forward past your life. Alright, you guys, have a great day, alright? Peace!
Peace.
Hey you guys, it's AB.Marley here, your brother from another mother. Truly ain't got no other.
I'm laughing because you sounded so sad. Why you sound so sad?
Do my voice that low?
You sounded so sad.
Because I was sounding slow as hell. I was trying to remember my lines. It's your brother from another mother. AB.Marley here. You ain't got no other.
I'm sorry.
This is why we call her retarded.
Okay, wait.
This is why we call her Harley Quinn, because you see that cotton ball on her head? She ain't got no
Hold on. Okay, wait. Don't look at me.
Oh gosh, the cotton candy ball is still talking, y'all. Keep keying this bitch.